Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is Andy in Singapore. If you haven't done so, I'd like to remind you to remember to click and subscribe to my channel because I've got new videos uploaded every week just for you. In today's video, we are going to do a full review of the Seiko speed timer that I unboxed a few weeks back. So this is a really new model. I think this model is under 3 months old. And at the time of the launch, it features a few different colorways. This version I'm holding on to is a JDM version. Reference number for the watch is SBER003 and it features the good old classic black dial, black face version. But I have to tell you that the most striking feature that hits me when I handle this watch, of course, would be this look here, the sub-dial, the 4-eye chronograph look. So you can take a look here. This one, really gives divided opinion. So some people will love this very different type of dial layout, very special, very unique. But there's another camp who definitely hate this look. They will say this dial here is overly busy. This watch has too many crowns, too many pushers. The chrono pushers here, all 4 pushers and crowns on different sides of the watch case. So I'm not too sure which camp you belong to. Now for me, I think, I like this look, right? Something very special, but I must admit it is not one of the watches that I would buy. Apart from the unusual dial layout and design, this watch also features a chrono timer that measures up to 1/100th of 1 second. If you ask me, I really don't know what it means, but it does seem like it can measure a very precise bit of elapsed timing. So if you need to time cooking of your instant noodles or how much time you take in the toilet, I think this will be a really good choice. Also interesting to note that Seiko has recently dumped every model into the Pro Specs catalog. You can see that you've got the Pro Specs logo over here nearer to the 6 o'clock sub-dial, which is actually the actual clock face. So this is Pro Specs and it is for timing or racing purpose, as can be seen with all the chronograph watches. Right, it's got a very strong racing theme to it. Not a diver watch, of course. Let's go through some of the key specs. This one here features a rather large case. It also has a pretty much slab-sided case design. Alright, we'll go more into details later on in this video. Total thickness of the watch is 12.9 millimeters. That's measuring from the case back that protrudes ever slightly to the top of this domed sapphire crystal. We've got a 20 millimeter lug width. That makes this one a really good strap model or strap monster. So you can definitely pair this one up with a really nice leather strap, maybe a rally strap, or even a nice rubber strap to give it a more sporty look. As it is, I think it comes on a really nice bracelet, full solid, and this is of good thickness and quality to it. L to L measurement here comes in at 48.1 millimeters, so still very manageable for a larger watch case. We've also got a nice curve to the mid case, so I'm pretty sure wearability is not a problem here. And the new speed timer runs on Seiko's solar quartz movement. Caliber number is 8A50, and I think solar quartz actually has a lot of merits to it. You don't have to reset your watch every time you pick it up from the watch case, so sort of a grab and go kind of thing. And accuracy is good to 15 seconds per month. So I would say, there should be fans like myself who appreciate the goodness of a solar quartz movement. So this being a full stainless steel bracelet design, it comes in at around 153 grams with the bracelet unsized. For a larger watch case and full solid bracelets and all, I think it's a still very manageable weight. Alright, definitely acceptable, especially if you've removed a few links. I think if it comes in at around 130 grams or so, it should be very comfortable to wear on a daily basis. Just some more information not found on Seiko's website. The crystal size here is 36 millimeters. But do bear in mind that the actual timekeeping or time-telling sub-dial has a diameter of 17.5 millimeters, and that's pretty small. You're actually reading time from the sub-dial here at 6 o'clock. The rest of the sub-dials are for chronograph function, timing functions and all that, so do bear in mind if you're considering this model. At the time of this review, the Seiko Speed Timer 4 sub-dial version comes in at around $910 street price. You can definitely get this one from our boutique, and this was where the watch was loaned in from. So let me take some time to thank my good friends Eric and family at our boutique for so generously loaning me all these watches for my videos. And now let's move on and talk a little bit on the case design and its overall build quality. So when I unboxed this watch, and obviously I've spent some time playing around with it to get some ideas for my review video, I can definitely feel the upgrade in terms of the build quality as well as the finishing on this watch. It costs close to 1,000 Singapore dollars, and you really feel the difference. So this is not your entry level Pro Specs diver. It feels very different. It is definitely more well crafted in terms of the finishing, right? The brushing here is much nicer, uniform, right? And the materials used over here definitely goes up a notch or two higher than your average samurais or your turtles. So case in point would be the clasp, which is a male clasp, right? So this is not a diver. It doesn't have the big bulky buckle, right? It's a smaller size buckle, and I think it looks much sleeker than those found on divers, and it's a 2-button clasp. Very nice operation, and I think this is a good upgrade from the entry-level Pro Specs watches. So in terms of overall finishing, I think this is way higher than even the Sumo. So the Sumo is about the same price. Of course you get a mechanical movement, but this is a solar quartz. But I think in terms of finishing, this is higher in my opinion. But do bear in mind that this watch does not have Diashield coating. Okay, so it is still a step lower than the 1,500 Singapore dollars category type of Seiko watches. So we've got a case here that's more or less slab-sided in nature, in design. Alright, but there's a really nice down curve or a curve to the mid case. So it sort of negates the longer L to L measurement. And the pushers here, they feel very solid. Alright, so let's just run through some of the functions. So the watch is now in its timer mode or chronograph mode. So you can use this to time your walks to the bus stop or something like that, or how long it takes to cook your eggs or instant noodles. Alright, and here's the reset button. So everything goes to 12 o'clock, and with a push here, it goes back to timekeeping mode, time telling mode. Okay, but I do wish there's a slightly more defined click or D10 to the pushes, if you know what I mean. Alright, so at the moment, there is not much resistance. Alright, I'm pretty sure this was done intentionally for you to easily go between your modes and to reset your chronograph, but I think this will lead to accidental activation of the chronograph. In terms of dial design and its overall color combination, as mentioned earlier in this video, this is a love it or hate it kind of thing. In my unboxing video, I mentioned this reminds me of the Arctura, a really old watch model. I think 20 years ago, Seiko had this Arctura type of chronograph that has many sub-dials and leaving the main time-telling dial at the 6 o'clock area. And it sort of reminds me of that Honda limited edition watch as well. So I believe it's the same look, and in fact, it should be derived from that design. So at this angle, you can see that the dial is black, but the sub-dials, they're actually sort of a dark brown color. Pretty sure you can see from this angle where the light hits different. So, alright, so you can see that here the sub-dials, some of the sub-dials are recessed, and they remind me of the Tropic type of Speedmaster look, the chocolate Speedmaster. Alright, so this shade of brown here, very subtle, and at different angles it just disappears. It looks all black, but if you put it to this angle, the light hits it this way, you will see that it is in fact very dark brown, and I think this adds to a different layer and different dimensions. Really cool detail by Seiko. And all the markers here are raised. So I would think that they're applied. Alright, the 5-minute markers on the time telling dial. Alright, so the hands here are really simple pencil hands, but I think they're really nicely done. In terms of detail and level of finishing, I think Seiko has done a really good job. Let's have a look at the loom shot of Seiko speed timer. So this has to be the weakest loom I've seen on a Seiko Pro Specs watch. So in terms of real estate of the loom plots, they're very small, alright, because the markers here are really tiny. And as we speak, the loom is actually starting to fade away. And zooming out for a quick wrist shot of the Seiko speed timer. So this, despite being a 42mm case size, slightly on the larger side of things, but it fits really well. Again, I must say it's due to the curve to the mid case. So minimal lug gaps, no lug overhangs, and it feels still manageable. I would say it's comfortable to wear. Doesn't feel top heavy. Let's also do a size comparison between the classic chronograph. So in my opinion, this is the classic chronograph, not the R brand one, alright, the one that is always out of stock and going at ridiculous prices. So I've got a Speedy here to do a size comparison with the Seiko speed timer. So both watches are 42mm case size. But in terms of design, they're very different. So one is slab-sided, the Seiko, and the other one has a more pastel or has got more curvature on the mid case. Alright, and the difference visually is day and night. So the Seiko definitely feels and looks bigger due to its slab-sided design. Now the interesting thing is, in terms of thickness, the Speedmaster is actually thicker than the Seiko. But it doesn't seem like it. Again, this is due to the slab-sided design on the Seiko speed timer. In summary, I would say this watch has its niche market. Alright, it's not a type of design that appeals to everyone, but if you're liking it for its quirkiness, this unique type of layout, alright, I think this could be the watch for you. But for me, I don't think I will put the money down on this one, because the actual time reading sub-dial here is way too small for my liking. Alright, so you've got a case size of 42mm, but in terms of actual time telling sub-dial, is way too small for my preference. So there you have it. That was my full review of the new Seiko Speed Timer 100th of a second edition. I have nicknamed this one the 4-eye monster by way of the numerous sub-dials. So if you like this watch, if you like the video, please remember to click the like button and subscribe to my channel, because I've got new videos uploaded every week just for you. We're going to say goodbye for now. This is Andy in Singapore together with George and Rolly Polly. Goodbye.